Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the final Squat Cobbler. I am Kelly. More on that in a second. I am Kelly at KELLYTHUL on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Dr. Mike. I'm almost too sad to give my
I
credentials
know it's
because,
tough.
like Kelly said, this is the final episode, and this is what my soul feels right now.
It's a very sad soul.
That's how my soul feels, Kelly. That's how you made me feel on the inside.
That's right.
But I
Uh,
am Dr. Mike at Official Pagan on everything. Brokenhearted,
yep,
traumatized.
yep. This way it is. But much like when I introduced this concept to Mike off air, it's not really the case. But we are doing something, and in all candor, while this had been something I had been thinking about for a while, a recent listener comment came in on one of our videos who's been engaged has engaged on a number of our videos in the past, and always has some good interesting things to say. And he brought up, geez, why do you guys call yourself Squat Cobbler? It's like you put yourself in a hole to begin with. You got to explain it. It seems crazy, and I kind of get what he's saying. First of all, we like Squat Cobbler. We thought it was an awesome name, but a little backstory for everybody. So first of all, the headline. We're going to continue doing what we're doing. Our content's going to stay the same. We're going to keep doing everything we're doing. But instead of flying the Squat Cobbler flag, we're going to be doing everything now under the much more copyright friendly Bog Panda, and also less. It doesn't have the word squat in it, so it's got that going for it. But we've got the kind of umbrella of Bog Panda where that's the YouTube channel. Nurture and Support will continue to be Nurture and Support and do its stuff. But Squat Cobbler came about uh, when Mel, my partner on Nurture and Support podcast, had started to have some difficulty with her internet and wasn't be able to do shows. And we had been doing weekly shows for a long time. And so Mike was nice enough to volunteer and suggested that we could kind of create a filler for a while. And I said that'd be great. So we went in assuming we were going to do 3 shows. that
Yes,
was
this is a trilogy.
Yeah, this was the original plan. Was Scott Cobbler would be 3 shows long, and so we said, hey, if we're doing this thing for 3 shows, let's have some fun. We're both huge Better Call Saul fans. We love the whole Squat Cobbler episode and storyline behind it. Thought it was a cool name. Could have fun with the logo on it, and so that's what we did. And 240 some shows later, it maybe became time to reflect to say, I don't know what the trademarking stuff is around Squat Cobbler. I don't know if I want to find out. And it might this might be an easier search term, Bog Panda, to have do a little bit better as well. And it has a fine logo as well. So we said no changes to format, content, hosts, any of that. But we're just going to kind of fly underneath the Bog Panda flag from here on out.
Also,
So
we realized that we don't know what trilogy means.
that's right. That was one of our first major miscalculations. But we are pretty convinced that once you pass 100, you're no longer at a trilogy. Pretty
Once we
confident.
passed 200, we're like, we definitely did this wrong.
This is not. This is a. We don't even know what the word for it is anymore. Um, so as you saw during the show, our kind of nice little framing element transitioned from Squat Cobbler to Bog Panda. So you'll see that on all the stuff from here on out. You'll very likely hear Mike and I, depending on how often I want to edit it out, because we've been saying "Welcome to Squat Cobbler" a lot, pretty regularly.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that's going to be a bit of a
More
hard.
than 3 times.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, more than the expected three. So, so I'm sure we're going to stumble on that a little bit. So, not earth shattering, but I think it makes sense. It'll be fun to kind of go this way. Give the panda his due, so he can do that. Trim down the number of logos we have to drop in on a thumbnail. We're down to one. That's pretty cool. So we're going to do that. But again, content wise, the same. We're going to do a lot of retro gaming stuff. We'll always talk about Alice Cooper. Any chance we can get, you'll get recommendations on occasion. Occasionally, you'll get although I hadn't thought about this, squat on the issues, which was, Mike and I would take on the challenges of the day. Um, we're going to have to work on reframing that into something. But
Bogged down by news.
the man's a genius. There we go. So we'll tune on that. I hadn't really thought about that. And then of course we have lovingly referred to our massive fan base as the Squatties. That was, which maybe wasn't the greatest nickname for someone to have. So this is another opportunity. I don't know if the Boggies is any better.
I was gonna say Boglins is taken.
Yep. Yeah, I think Boggies is good, but Boggies is I feels a little better than Squatties. I think. So.
Somebody watching this is like, why aren't we the pandas? Why would you go with Bog?
Yeah, all right, just fair enough. So we'll have to, yeah, I guess, yeah, but it'll have to be like the crazy pandas or the something. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Panda Army, the Panda Army. There you go.
See, these are how important decisions are made.
That's right, the Panda Army. That works. so thank you in advance for people who would have sent in notes to say, "Why to Mike? Why the Boggies?
Why wouldn't you go Panda? Why did you go Bog?"
So we respect the opinions of the Panda Army, and we will kind of go that way. But we just wanted to kind of let folks know we're making a little bit of a shift. I know it's not like groundbreaking news, but cut down any confusion that might be there. You're going to see we've numbered these episodes. We've mentioned our count a couple times here. That continues on. This is like another coat of paint on the car. It's the same car. We just
we're not starting back over from episode 1. We've come too far into this trilogy.
That's right, because if we started another trilogy, I don't know what would happen. It would be. It's clearly we're not able to deal with counts at all, so we're just gonna let that kind of keep rolling on from there, so you can kind of keep track of our numerous episodes that we've had, and that's all. Like I said, I'm gonna miss it. I did like it. I also just think it is a little bit easier if you're maybe talking to someone who's going to become a guest on the show who doesn't know us really well. I mean, most of the folks we've had on as a guest or helping us with some of our other content we've known for a long time, and so they give us a pass on whatever we call ourselves. But if there's like somebody new, I just think saying your show's called Bog Panda versus Squat Cobbler might be good. So I could be wrong, but I just think that might trim down a restraining order or two down the road. So
Kelly knows a thing or two about restraining orders.
And we'll keep the Michael I count, in case that'll obviously remain as well. All that good stuff. So I just want to give you folks a heads up on what's going on. And I guess the big news. Talk about news that absolutely nobody will care about, except I think there are 3 people on the planet that this is relevant to, and that's you, me, and Mel. The official font of Nurture and Support podcast will remain the much beloved Squealer font. However, we're moving to a different font, which is listed below because I can't remember the name of it.
250 episodes in, this is the quality you get.
Couldn't bother. I should have gone, which is and it just voice dubbed it over, but I'm not gonna do that. I have too much respect for our listeners to do such chicanery. But we'll change our font there, because another thing we found out, well, Cobbler on occasion could be challenging. If you take that Squealer font and are using certain black and red colors and creating things like the Belinsky tool for president campaign posters that we put together a little while. They tend to read a little fascist, and it's just not great. So
Kelly tries so hard to get canceled.
it was like
Every
just
episode.
had another good friend of ours, Gerald Webb, as a matter of fact, I just said, "You guys SS?" It was like, oh yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. But I mean, Kiss had the whole lightning bolt SS thing. They did fine. So, but we're gonna have one that won't
See,
be.
those guys have good SEO.
Yeah. See, they got it right. So they do it right. But we're gonna kind of go with a potentially less difficult to misinterpret or more difficult to misinterpret font, just so that they can't do that. So again, I'm sure that all this was fascinating to you. Key thing to know is new name, same show, and that's really what we wanted to tell you.
I think that about wraps it up.
Indeed, it does. Thanks for watching Bog Panda. Go Panda Army.